Blog Talk Radio.
Check out the full episode of this on Mentellect Patreon. In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord, in Amen we trust. As the Republic of Mentellect, the real 144,000 is being gathered in staying time, the Mentalists, the Amen race, the bright race. Good evening, I'm your host, the intellectual Nuben Menkari. This is Mentellect Radio, and tonight we're going to be discussing the cost of building and maintaining a real community. A real community. Not no fake community, but a real community. Okay? I'm going to break all this down for you. You know, there's a lot of things that come with starting a community when you really start in a community. Because I said you got fake communities out there. First and foremost, you got to know what a real community is and what a fake community is. A fake community is the so-called black community. When people talking about the so-called black community, that's really meant to be a joke. There's no such thing as a black community. I told you that. When people talk about the so-called black community, the African-American community, or whatever they call these Negroes now, the African-American community, the black community, there is no black community. There is no African-American community. That's a joke. Okay? Like the conscious community. There is no such thing as a conscious community. Alright? That's a joke. That's not a real community. The Jewish community, the Hasidic Jewish community, that's a real community. Okay? Even the Zionist Jews who are ahead of them, that's connected to them, that's, you know, the top Jews, the top Zionists, they have a real community. Those are real communities. Alright? The Italian community, the Irish and all of them, they have loosely based, but pretty much for the most part, a community. They have communities. Those are communities. Okay? Let me explain to you what a community is. You see, so you know the fake community and what the real community. See, the fake community, and you know what black people believe is a real community is just a bunch of people living next to each other who are of the same race, ethnic background, living in the same neighborhood. Okay? They call that a community. You see. You don't have to believe in the same things, follow the same things, be a part of the same things. You don't have to be, in other words, to be part of the so-called black community, the conscious community, any community that black people think is a community. You don't have to be linked mentally. You don't even really have to be linked physically. You just got to live next door to each other. You just have to have the same interests, that live next door to each other, or, you know, live in the same area. They call that a community. That's not a community. That's a neighborhood. And anybody can move into your neighborhood. And show you how easy neighborhoods are destroyed. Show you how easy neighborhoods are made over. They gentrify neighborhoods every day. They can't really gentrify a community. So when y'all need to stop talking this nonsense about, oh, they gentrifying the black community, they gentrifying African American communities. Nobody's gentrifying any community. You cannot gentrify a community. What is the cost of building and maintaining a real community? Slander, backbiting, people calling you a cult leader, people accusing you of being a sexual deviant, a womanizer, all this stuff, all of that comes along with it. People accusing you of taking their money and using it for their own personal use, and stealing their money and all this other issue. This is what comes with that. You see, people who you helped out, people who you did things for turning on you, people stabbing you in the back. You see, this is what comes with it, you know. It's a heavy cost to pay, and it takes a toll on the mind whether you know it or not, because people can talk all this stuff they want to, but try to walk a mile in my shoes. Try to deal with for a minute what I got to deal with, and try to receive this reception and receive the reception and give it to y'all every damn night. What does it cost? Why does it cost? Because anything that's worth having is going to cost, man. Again, anything worth having costs. That's why when y'all come to me with this free ish, or you asking why we gotta pay dues, because anything worth having costs. A community is worth having. A community is worth having, so therefore it costs $144 to be exact. 72 for you mezzos. But anyway, who pays the cost? Who pays this cost? I pay the cost. Y'all pay the cost as the true followers of this message, the true receivers. We all pay the cost. See, we gotta bear the brunt of this. Y'all gotta pay the cost of having your families turn on you and tell you, oh, see, you following a cult leader. See, don't drink the Kool-Aid. See, why this guy taking money from y'all? Y'all pay the cost by listening to this. It's all from your family. These get all of a sudden concerned, but these the same that ain't doing shit with their lives. You see, ain't doing shit with their lives. Just eating, and dying. But they want to give you advice on who you should listen to. These niggas ain't talking about nothing, but they want to give you advice. Why you gotta take this? Now, if you've been going to church, they didn't have nothing to say about that and giving up money every Sunday, way more than what we have. If you would have been up in there going to church socials and giving up money, he wouldn't have nothing to say about it. See, because the white man don't have nothing to say about that. He's okay with these hustlers and those preachers taking your money in the name of Jesus and whatnot and just doing whatever they want. They don't call them a cult. They don't call the Catholic Church a cult. They don't call the Jewish synagogues a cult. But when you're trying to raise up something that's not white Jesus, not putting your people under mind control, raising their minds, you a cult leader. And these, again, will agree with. Why is it necessary to have a community? Because how else are we going to grow our children? Our children grow where there is love, where there is collective acceptance of one another. That's what our children grow like flowers, man. We represent that fertile energy of power to produce these flowers, man. Our children. We trying to make better people, man. The only way you're going to make better people is by having a community. That's why the Jews turn out so many assets to their race, to their religion, whatever. They turn out so many assets because they're bred in communities. You're going to only breed top shelf people in community. You're not going to breed them in these outskirts, in these little neighborhoods and wherever. You think ain't no real children being bred in no hood, man. All you breed in the hood is little savages. That's all you breed in the damn hood, in your black neighborhoods, all over the country, all over the world. All you breed is little savages because there's no community there. Ain't nobody there to tell little Ray and them, nah, you can't form no gang here. You can't sell no drugs here. Ain't nobody there to tell the daughters, no, you stop being a little house and laying with everybody and close your legs. All y'all gonna close your legs till it's time for you to have a husband. See, you ain't got nobody to tell you that. This is why that's why your hoods are destroyed. This is why the white man coming and gentrify your neighborhood. The Jews coming and take over your neighborhood because, see, a community will always dominate a neighborhood. Does it cost money to maintain a community? Of course it does. It costs money to maintain anything. Anything and everything. Just like that. And if you ain't up for that, if you ain't down for that, if you ain't for that, then don't come into a community. Don't be a part of it. Stay as an individual out in the world. And that's it.
For the complete broadcast, you're going to have to go to Mentellect Patreon. Go to Mentellect Patreon for this complete broadcast because it will not, I guarantee you, it will not be on YouTube. Subscribe to Mentellect Patreon and join the Mesoamerican community.
It's the Republic of Mentellect, rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the white race. If it's hell, and then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake